Hi everyone and welcome to my thank card. It's Friday. Today we'll be making a happy birthday card. The card we'll be making is this easel card here, like that. Okay, so I've had to retape this first part of the YouTube because somehow it didn't tape the first bit, so you'll see how it's lighter here. You can hear my parrots, whereas I taped it last night originally in the dark and you can see some shadows, so please excuse the video editing for today. So the stamp sets we'll be using is going to be this beautiful birthday and this happy hour stamp set. All I used to create this base is a early espresso cardstock, and I've actually folded it in half, and then using the label framelit, I used the large framelit die, and I actually lined up from point to point here and ran that through the big shot, so that fold is right here. So as you open it, it's only going to open this part, okay? And then on the first part of the flap, I put through the scorer, and from point to point I score. That's the front of this cardstock. Okay, you see what I mean here? So basically I just fold, and that is where the base of the actual card front is going to sit. Now tape only goes into this front section, okay, so that way you can actually fold that up like that. Now with the second framelit in, so it comes in 6 different sizes, all the same shape, but they just decrease in size. Now the second one in I cut with cherry cobbler, and the third one in I cut with very vanilla. Okay, so also what I've just done, I've just grabbed some designer series paper. I don't know if you remember this, but this was part of the Christmas designer series paper. It was just like a little 6x4 stack, and it was the Festival of Prints. And as you can see, I still got some paper, which I just took out from my hoard vault. And so what I'm going to do is, using the third label in, I'm going to cut out this designer series paper as well as a very vanilla, and I'm actually going to cut them both in half and use the Whisper White up top and this gorgeous pattern paper on the... Okay, so I've adhered the designer series paper down, just grabbing the happy birthday stamp and the early espresso ink pad. I'm just going to tap nice and gently on my early espresso ink and just stamp down. Like that. Okay, so I've got some early espresso satin ribbon, which is no longer in our catalogue, but it is still, I've got heaps left and I still want to use this ribbon up. So I'm going to actually use this on this card, and I'm going to put it along the border side of underneath the sentiment. Alright, so now I'm going to adhere that down using my dimensionals, and I'm going to adhere that down on this cherry cobbler cardstock. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, using the same satin ribbon, I'm going to actually make a flat bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to form an oval, a circle, just like that. So I've just stuck a glue dot in between. I'm actually just going to give that a little bit of a trim so it's not so big. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get another glue dot, place it in the actual center there. You can see it there. And then I'm going to press this down to the center, and that there is going to make a cute little bow. So I'm going to then grab another glue dot, which is full of glue dots, this bow, but it's the best way for me, that works well for me. And see on this side where there's the actual joining of the seam there, where I've cut it, I'm going to press that down, still with the ribbon, and I'm just going to turn it like that. Cut a little tiny bit off, and I'm going to glue dot again that back of that ribbon. And just place that and fold that along there. And that's just going to make my cute little flat bow. And then just grabbing my glue dot again, going to just put it down. I'm going to actually put 2 on the back and just placing that in the center like that. If you want, you can fluff up the bow. It's totally up to you. I'll show you what it looks like. Isn't it cute? Very, very cute. Okay, and then gonna adhere that down. Now, the trick is to, when you make a stand-up card, because it is a card that's interactive and you do use it a lot, instead of using snail, I would use either the sticky strip or even your Tombow Mono adhesive. It depends how strong and if you prefer liquid or tape. I'm a bit of a red sticky strip girl, so I'm going to actually line the bottom part of this die cut framelit out, and I'm just going to show what. Okay, so this is what I mean by sticking. I got a bit red sticky strip happy, but I tried to cover the best I can to the edges, and I'm just going to peel that off and then just stick that down to the bottom of this. Okay, so continuing with the same card front theme of the red and the very vanilla, I've done the same cutout and am putting it in, placing it in the middle there. So now we need an anchor for this easel card. So I'm still thinking with the idea and toying with the idea of using the little stamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this with Early Espresso on very vanilla cardstock, and then I'm going to fussy cut around each one. So I think I'm just going to do it twice. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to actually put some kind of anchor, and because I would need a couple of layers to help with the anchor and holding this sign up, the front layer of the card, I'm going to use some scrap cardstock, and I'm going to use Early Espresso. I had Cherry Cobbler in my hand, but I'm going to use Early Espresso and then the Cherry Cobbler. So I'm just trying to make sure I utilize every little bit of my cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this down with some snail. I'm making sure it's in the center. And I'm going to dimensional. I'm going to stick this down first, and I'm going to use Tombow Mono, and then I'm going to dimensional that down. Okay, so Tombow Mono, which if you haven't seen before, it's just this one, and using very vanilla. Just going to adhere that down like that. Now I'm going to let that dry for just a couple of seconds longer before I fiddle with it with the dimension. Alright, so I've just adhered dimensionals down. Okay, so grabbing my card and placing down where I feel the anchor would be, which is towards the bottom, adhering that down. So that's the card. So that's that folded down. You can see how it looks sideways, and then there it anchors there. So something different, something nice. I think this is a really nice stamp set that you can have lots and lots of fun with. I think it's a great stamp set. So hope you enjoyed today's Thank Card. It's Friday. Check out my blog to see the project recipe, and visit my Facebook page at Show Me the Love Jo Herbert. And I hope you have a lovely paper crafting weekend. Take care.